Hello and welcome to the Freedom from the Night. The Freedom from the Night. We are going to get off into the tales of the supernatural, although not many like that supernatural word, but we're getting into the immortal, okay? Because it's about Jesus, the immortal. Okay, it's all about the immortal. So there's something that everybody does not know about, and that's what makes it so supernatural. It's better than the natural. It's super than the natural. Okay, it's much more super than the natural. Jesus, that light, the light of Jesus, what he brings, the light that Jesus brings into our life is way more than what we can do for ourselves in the darkness. Okay? All right, so today's topic, and of course, we're reading from the notes because I don't got a problem doing it. Ain't nobody, ain't nobody better than nobody because they read their notes or don't read their notes. Believe me, don't listen to somebody else. You can read your notes. It doesn't mean a thing. People bully other people because of where they are. But then they get mad because somebody bullying them because of where they are. But see, it's somebody that they bullying that they don't know that they bullying. See what I'm saying? So everybody is bullying somebody with their words, which is why your focus is to only be on getting the Bible out. That's it. Not whether or not somebody's reading on cards or whether or not somebody's um, doing this or doing that. No, that's not your concern. Your concern is about you're living in vain, stuff like that. Now, those are things that you you talk about. Okay, if your living is in vain, all right, that's that. But about a paper, who cares if you're using a paper or not? It's paper. And you can read on it all you want to. Because they read their papers before they got on here. And even if they came right on here, they read something before they got on here. They read the Bible. That's script as well. So they read something before they got on here. Alright? Even reading your own mind. And your mind telling you what you read something. Okay? So come on now. Let's think, let's go deeper than the surface because plenty of people read something. We all read something. Okay? Especially when it comes to the supernatural. We all read something. You read your thoughts, you read a book, you read scripture, you read your notes, you read something, and then you put yourself out there and you go and you go and you go. Alright? So we not about to worry about whether or not I'm going to read off a card, or any of you who all out there that reads off a card. Even if you read your prayer off a card, or you read whatever you got to do, you're teaching off a card, believe me, or a book or whatever. Don't worry about it. People just want to bully with their words. It's not about that. That's bullying. And who cares? If you was in school and you was the type of person like I was in school, I didn't care about nobody words. Words did nothing to me. All I did was try to stay away from that person that was the negative person. That's it. I stayed away from that person. I don't want to be near you when you speaking those words, because those words can get onto me and we gonna fight, we gonna battle. For real, because I'm not gonna like it that you are speaking that negativity while you with me in my life, or away from me speaking negativity. I don't want to hear all that. I want to hear the greatness in which is to come. Cause if it's about an ending, right? If it's about an ending, we got to get our beginning right. So this brings me to this topic. All right, and I'm gonna try my best to be brief with this topic. The topic is about investment again. Investment is the same as a relationship, okay? That's what investment is. Investment is the same as relationship, because anything outside of you is an investment, right? That's an investment. That's an investment. Anything outside of you and you got it in your hands is an automatic investment. Let's say whatever you have in your hand, that's automatically an investment. So even if it's money, cars, clothes, a woman, a man, children, a dog, a cat, a flower, I don't care what it is. That's an investment. Coins, whatever. Investment. So investment is the same thing as a relationship with it. Relationship with it. You carry a relationship with everything that is in your hands. Okay? So anything outside of you is an investment. Anything outside of you is a relationship, including the relationship that's going to be on the outside of you with yourself. Okay? Coming back in, that's going to be a relationship. If some of you know what I mean by that. So, investment is the topic of an ending to it, okay? So, topic. Everything has an end to it, okay? Everything has an end to it. And the end can be great. It don't have to be bad. Why do people keep consistently talking so negative about it? It's up to you to invest the greatness in your investment, your relationship with everything around you. It's up to you. It doesn't matter how they act. It don't matter how they act. Your investment is with you, with it coming back to you, your expected end. Okay? Write that down. Your relationship, your investment, it's not about those people around you. It's about you and your expected end. Because what does the end do? What I just already said. The end comes back to you. It comes back to you. It don't go back. It don't go to them. It don't matter what happened bad to them. Oh, they got their karma. It don't matter about what happened to them. Okay? Before it hits you. It don't matter about that, because your expected end is going to be great. Because you only adhering to the positive. You're not worried about if nobody going to get karma or not. All you going to wonder is of the greatness of God. Known as signs and wonders. Which is why those who are not children of God, your signs and your wonders will be that of evil. That's why it's nothing wrong. Look, listen, there's nothing wrong with signs and wonders. It's something wrong with the relationship that you have, or the investments that you took out into of your own and then it came back to you, and now you worried, and so your worrying will be what you get. You will not get signs and wonders. You won't get that. Your sign and your wonders will be worrying and sadness. Write that down. Your signs and your wonders will be worrying and sadness upon you because of what you're putting out there. So again, there's nothing wrong with signs and wonders, especially if you're a child of God. Let's read our Bible right. They said that in the Bible it says that signs and wonders will get you back what the Pharisees had. That's the Pharisees. That ain't God's children. That's not God's children. So what are you talking about? So you telling me that you are doing what the Pharisees have? So that's going to be your expected end. Okay? God says we are looking for an expected end. Expected end. So you put greatness out there, you're going to expect back greatness. You understand? But when you put all that other stuff out there, that evil, and you want to backbiting and turning away from God and turning towards men and listening to them and seeing them pervert the earth, and you like laughing and you think, okay, yeah, okay, got you. And you want to go out there and do it, the same steps that they're taking, instead of taking the steps of what Jesus take, well, then guess what? You better be expecting something to come back in the end. And it ain't going to be something. It ain't going to be nothing great about that. Because it's not going to be about God. It's not. It's not. It's just not. Okay? So, in the end of that can be great. Don't even think of nothing else other than greatness. Don't try to outdo somebody. That ain't great. That's evil and wicked. You're plotting. And that's what certain industries and jobs try to get you to do. Compete against other people. You don't got time for that. You competing with yourself. You might as well just get with that one. You competing with yourself. You don't got time for competition. What you got time to do is investment. Right investments, great ideas, and don't get stuck at your ideas. And keep flowing. When you come up with an idea, do it. Make sure that it's not done in vain or done in without going to God about it, you know? But don't get stuck in the idea. Do. Okay? So when relationships, when investment is not done in vain, or let's just say when it's done in vain, it can hurt people. It hurts people and it hurts you. It puts you in shame, puts your head down, and you're no longer even wanting God to see you. And when you're in shame, you're in nakedness. All right, write that down. When you are in shame, you are in nakedness. And so you're not going to want God to see your nakedness. You're not going to want other people to see your nakedness. You understand that? But people can see your nakedness. They're going to see it. So that's what happens when everything is done in vain. You begin to hurt yourself first, and then you hurt other people in the process of hurting yourself. That's not greatness. And people coming together, when people come together, let's just say this: when people come together, people normally in a relationship, people normally just want a baby. That's all that the men want nowadays. It's a baby. And so then you got these women out here wanting the same thing. All they want is a baby, because that's all they can see for. Their hope is in the time, instead of being in the testimony Okay? Their hope is in the time instead of in the testimony. The testimony brings about a hope. Time brings about an end, and then that's it. Testimony brings about an expected end, but time time brings about an end, and that end is going to be an investment that's going to be against you towards the grave and dying, because that's all you're going to get. And you may think that you brought a lot of riches, and even if you poor, you think that you've done a lot of things to make others poor. I mean, whatever status that people are in, they normally try to do it to someone else. You might have thought that you have invested your thoughts onto somebody else, but let me tell you, you only doing it to yourself, and at the end of that, you gonna perish. You will not have an everlasting. You're gonna perish, and you're gonna be right there in the grave with your fathers and your father's fathers and your father's fathers. It's no everlasting after that. You just gonna perish, die. That's it. So, getting a baby is um it's not only reproduct. We think that having a baby is reproducing. Having a baby, an actual baby in our hand, is reproducing. Having a baby in your hand, let's picture this as a baby. All right, having a baby in your hand doesn't make this baby reproduction. An actual baby in your hand is not reproduction. No. No. Having this hand here, and you ain't even seen nothing happen, that's a baby too. The immortal. You understand? The invisible. That's a baby too. That's reproduction too. That you carrying with you in your hand every single day, all day, 24 hours a day. That's reproduction too. But we perverted reproduction to think that it's only about let me write it down. We have limited reproduction, and we have limited sex. So okay, sex and reproduction. We have limited sex and reproduction. We limited it. My eraser is gone again. Oh, here it is. Okay. We have limited sex to it only being sex. We have limited reproduction to it only being reproduction. That's what we limited this stuff to, which makes it perverted. But it's a bigger thing than that. Just like investment, the word investment, the word relationship, sex, and reproduction, all those words are bigger than our thoughts, than our thoughts. God is bigger. He's greater than our own thoughts. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So when we think about sex, we think sex is just, oh, we gotta get together, me and this other person, and become one. And then if I have a baby, then that is reproduction. We think that is reproduction. Having this baby right here, that's reproduction. No, it is not reproduction. No. Let's move this, and you got two people. Those two people is reproduction. That's reproduction. You are reproducing something. Although you can't see the baby, you cannot see the baby is still there. These two people are reproducing a baby. You're reproducing. This is reproduction too. These two together, that's reproduction too. Both of these two together, That's reproducing. Not just having the baby so you can be able to see something happen. No, you won't be able to see anything happen just because the baby is front and centered in your life. No. What's going to wind up happening is that now you just going to be like, "Oh, okay, we did that. What else?" No, it's not about that. Reproduction is the invisible thing between you and the person that's outside of you. Investment is the thing that's between you and also with the person that's outside of you. Same thing as relationship. Investment, relationship, reproduction. This here, all between these two. It's already happening as soon as you come encounter with um with who you are, get to know who you are, get to knowing yourself. That's reproduction. And then once you get to know who you are and you know that you got some ways about you, and you get to building a foundation about it, which is changing, which is changing. You get to building your foundation, which is changing. Then you're gonna know that, hey, okay, I can do this. This is great. This is not, and then you'll also understand that this is not you. This is something greater than you. You'll also know that this is something greater than you. Something supernatural, something immortal that you can't, that you yourself cannot contain. You can't contain this greatness. No, you cannot contain this greatness that's outside of you. You may try to, but you cannot contain it. Understand? You can't contain that greatness because this greatness is greater than you. So reproduction automatically happens. Sex is automatically happening because sex is in everything. Write that down. Sex is in everything. Sex is in everything. Just like relationship is in everything. Understand? Sex is in everything, just like relationship is in everything. And investment is in everything. Anything that's outside of you, including yourself, your new self that's before you, that you're going to have to get into because this future exists. So anything outside of you is a sexual relationship. Anything outside of you is a relationship. Anything outside of you is an investment. Anything outside of you is reproducing. It includes you. It includes you. And it puts responsibility back on you. See what I'm saying? So the one person without that other person, it puts responsibility RESPONSIBILITY, it puts responsibility back on you. You are responsible for you. And that's what investment does. It puts you And responsibility, that word investment puts you in responsibility of yourself. Nobody else outside of that is responsible for you. If you cheat, you, if you cheat, then guess what? You did that. You can't then turn around and say that I'm going to give a snake to my partner, or I'm going to give a snake to my child and say it was because of them. You are giving snakes. You giving snakes, serpents to people. Like when you do that, when you say stuff like that, you giving serpents. That's what's coming from your mouth. A, a sepulchre. All right? What's coming from your mouth is sepulchre, the death, the dead. And what's going to happen is now you are known as the fool, and you're going to perish in the end with your father who did this before you. You understand? According to the Bible. So be careful with what you think that you getting away with. You're not. You're not getting away with anything. You're not. So again, we have perverted sex and reproduction, and we think that it has something to do with that which is outside, and whatever we make with the outside, the relationship or the investment that we make with the outside, in such a way that we think that it has to manifest something. No, it don't have to manifest anything. The manifestation gonna be in you. Can you see that? No. The manifesting gonna be in that person. Will you be able to see that? No. The manifestation gonna be in the chair, the clothes, the furniture, the bed in each room. I mean, it's going to be in those things, peoples, and places. But is it going to, does that stuff dictate the manifestation? No, it doesn't. It's inside those things. Just because, okay, you here, then a person shows up here, that don't mean no manifestation is taking place. Manifestation ain't even took place because this person showed up. That's not manifestation. Manifestation already happened with you. You are the manifestation of Christ. Christ. Manifestation already showed up when you was born. When you first was born, that was manifestation. And that person, when that person first was born, that was manifestation. Which is why are we looking for manifestation? Don't go looking for manifestation. It's already been manifested. Nobody cares about this word manifestation. Everything already been manifested right through reproduction. Reproduction is the manifestation of a thing. Sexual activity is not between a man and a woman. No, it's the things, it's what is in that man and that woman that brings them together. That's sex. Okay? Because even flowers reproduce. And we didn't even know they reproduce. They reproduce. Flowers, grass, trees, that stuff reproduces. You gotta think out of the box that you're in. You're in a trap. You're perverted. When you think of sex, you think of, oh, let me go get another woman. Or when you think of reproduction, you like, oh, let me go make a baby with this person. Because God only put us together for reproduction. No, reproduction is not the baby. Reproduction is the investment, is the relationship, that you have with yourself and in those around you, all of that different stuff is the sex, is the reproduction. The baby doesn't make the reproduction. The baby is just an added, it's an addition to what God adds on to you. If it's done right, okay? When you do it right, that's the add-on. The baby is just the add-on. The baby does not um, uh, define the word reproduction. Understand? The baby does not. So a lot of people think that, oh well, we doing this for the kids. No, don't do this for the kids, honey. We doing nothing for the kids. Or daddies always tend to exclude mothers out and be like, because other people tell them to exclude them because they probably with another woman or whatever. Let's say that the daddy is with another woman. So now they want to exclude the mother, and now they have a reason to come to the mother and exclude the mother when the mother is a part of her child. And but other people are telling them that it's okay. So they're gonna get fed of the world. The world is gonna feed them. So they're gonna have backup to thinking that it's okay. Alright? So they're gonna have it. So whatever they talk about, whatever they speak about, they talk bad about the baby mom and all that, they gonna have a reason. Because everybody on the outside gonna give them a reason. But to exclude the mother and get to talking bad about the mother, or get to talking, or get to, just not being there for that relationship between the mother and that child, that's not good. Because even if you have another woman, you still have to understand that that's a woman, she has a child, and you still got to be there. Even if you don't think that you have to. And so when you issuing out all this different stuff to the current situation, you still have to issue out things to that prior situation, because that's something that you did that because you no matter what you try to come up with, because people will come up with something. Well, I thought it was gonna work, I thought this, you didn't think nothing. Let's not think. Let's do what we supposed to do from the beginning, so that the end can be an expected end. It doesn't matter what that person does. Let's just say the person coming from a hurtful situation, you coming from a hurtful situation, you back up out of it. If they putting their hands on you, yes, you have to, because that's not a good investment. How can you even be free to do what you need to do if the person consistently, putting hands on you? But when the person is cheating, how can you do anything with that person and that person's cheating? You can't even hold a relationship down with a person cheating. A person doing anything outside of what's supposed to be on their heart, that means they're double-minded, because this sees a lot. So the thoughts come in to hear what it sees. So now that means they double-minded. Their heart is one way, but their thoughts is with something else. So now they won't be able to hear what God has to say. Hey, this is the woman for you. Why are you going with this other woman? They can't hear that, because all they see is problems. All they see is situation, because of something that they're putting themselves into. They not looking at themselves. They looking at you. Just like a child is not going to look at themselves. They're not going to think their responsibility on themselves, because people say that children don't have responsibility. But they do, because these children got to grow up, and they're going to be adults thinking that they don't hold responsibility. Responsibility is with these children. And that's why people still ask little kids questions. The same evil people will ask the children who don't hold responsibility the questions like they hold responsibility. Come on now. How you going to ask the child well, what she say, or what you do, how you do it. If you asking all those questions of a child, that means that you know that that child holds responsibility. That's why it's double-mindedness in the world. It's double-mindedness in the world. A child has responsibility too. And we got to stop thinking like that. Because we can't say one thing for one thing and then another thing for another thing. That's double-mindedness. You going to be confused in the world. Ain't nobody got time for that. If you asking a child questions, automatically you gave that child responsibility. So therefore, you can't then turn it around for something else and say that that child don't got responsibility because of something else. No, they have responsibility of everything from birth. As soon as they touch this earth, they got responsibility. And so therefore, let them children be free to speak on what they don't want to be bothered with. If you got a problem or whatever, let them children speak on what they don't want to be bothered with or what they do want to be bothered with. Children should be free. They shouldn't have to wait till they grown to feel the certain type of this feeling stuff is a problem. Anyway, so I wanted to speak about that reproducing. Reproducing is from birth. Whatever it is that you reproduce will be your expected end. Okay? So let's say you got a man and a woman living together. And I'm going to use this and I'm going to end it. Okay? Because I'm too long. Let's say you got a man and a woman. This is the man. And this is the woman. Okay? Alright? So this is the man. And this is the woman. That's his beard. That represents a man. That's her hair. That represents a woman. So let's say you got a woman and a man. And the man does what he normally do, you know. He's over here. He's laying down. She's over here. She's in a chair. She's sitting. He's in the bed or whatever. Alright, so basically they in adultery, okay? This is automatically adultery. Sorry. Let me check the time. Ooh, 6:49. Gotta get ready to go. Alright, so this is automatically adultery. Okay? This is adultery. Because she's over here in the chair and he's over here in the bed. Now, this woman being in the chair, that's fine. But this man over here in the bed, that's adultery. Alright? It's adultery. Now let's say we have a dream. And these people are wanting to come together, but if they don't eventually come together, they're going to come to an end of divorce, okay? And they not even married yet. Let's just say that. Or better yet, not even divorced. They're going to separate. And they've been together for 15 years. Better yet, let's say 20 years. They've been together for 20 years. Let's say they've been together for 20 years. She not talking to him. He not talking to her. But at the same time, he's waiting on her. But at the same time, she's just like, wow, you ain't married me yet. Why? You know, and they didn't had a child or some children or whatever, right? But yet he gonna be expecting from her. He gonna want some kids. And they probably already have kids. Let's say they already have kids or whatever, but the kids are grown now. And they're going off on their own. And now it's just them two together by themselves now. Now they done did 20 years of adultery. because they never got married, but they had those kids. That's going to be put off on her, on the woman. The woman going to be in shame and sadness, not able to really be sat in the faith of her, and she's not even going to be the youth for her man. She's learning how not to be the youth for her man. She's learning that because the man the man thinks that just producing a baby, that's all he was supposed to do with the woman. But that's not what you were supposed to do. Mm-mm. The babies are the added on to you. You still didn't take care of this situation. This wasn't taken care of. And you did not marry her, and not marry her just to see if it's gonna work. No, you didn't marry her knowing that God appointed this woman to you. You ain't marry her. You didn't deal with the situations that you dealt with, but you dealt 20 years with this woman, with the situation that she was dealing with. And you then cheated, you then fornicated, you then committed adultery, you then lied, you then stole. Okay, you did everything outside of the commandment, but you still got her. And you expecting her to do everything outside of herself, even though you giving her all of that. You ain't spending no time with her. You acting like she's not even there. Because you already got what you wanted. And so now there's nothing else to thrive for, right? But that's not how reproduction works. Reproduction works when you work it with yourself first, as a king wearing your crown, and then now you get the queen. Now, being that you are reproduced, now you can take that reproduction and reproduce in her. And even if there is no baby there, you still can take that production inside of you, which is also the sex inside of you, and you can build a better foundation within this woman. Now God will do the everything added on to you. But you are reproducing within yourself the light. Now that woman is got the light, and now this woman becomes the woman of your youth. It don't matter how old she is, how young she is, how in the middle it don't matter how she look. It don't matter none of that. She's still gonna be the woman of your youth, because it's your youth. You have reproduced. You have invested. You've invested. You've done something. You did it. All right? And that makes you feel better at the end of the day. It does. Okay? It makes you feel better at the end of the day. And then, now, if y'all want to make a baby, then the baby's there. If not, it's okay. You gonna live. Reproduction is still there between the both of you. You still got to reproduce something and not pervert it. Okay? So reproduction, it starts with you. Not nobody else. Now, if done the right way, you wed that woman, you wed her, meaning you marry her. Now that woman, she's going to do what she needs to do for you. Now you are reproducing something great. And guess what? That expected end is going to be even greater, because guess what? It's outside of you. You don't think that you can do stuff like certain things. You don't even probably want to get married. But it ain't about you. It's about the greatness that's in the future of this thing. It ain't about you. It's about the greatness that's about to happen once you reproduce it in the right way. So, let me get off here. I gotta go. And so you don't want your living. So the main thing is you don't want your living in vain. All right? You do not want your living to be in vain. But you want to be living right. You don't want your living in vain. You want to be living right. All right? You want to be living upright. Meaning that you want not that woman to be in that chair and you in that bed. You don't want that. You want that woman to be wedded, married. You want to marry her. And married don't mean putting a ring on it. Married means you doing what's right by that woman. All right? And then put a ring on it, and you go through the system, go through the rightful system, because you give it to God, to what belongs to God first. Then you give to Caesar what belongs to him. Then you wed the woman. Then once you wed the woman, that's given to Caesar. And then after you wed the woman, it's not all about the ring, but you know what I'm saying? You can put the ring on there, but that is not all about the ring. But you want to put the ring on there that's doing for Caesar, because you already gave your portion to God. And even after you give her the ring, you still got to do your portion. That ring don't dictate nothing. That house that you put over her head, that roof you put over her head don't dictate nothing. That's material stuff. That's that manifestation crap. No, it's already manifested without that. So now you still got to put in what? Some work. Still got to put some work in there. Anyway, I don't want to be too long. I've already overdid it. So this is the point I'm trying to make. Is that you got to go through the giving to God what belongs to God and the giving to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. You still going to have to do that. And reproducing is not the baby. Reproducing is not the ring. Reproducing is not the house you put her in or, put her in. That's not reproducing. That's manifestation. And you like, oh, God gave me this, God gave me that. But my wife could be a little, but my woman can be a little. No, we not finna do no blaming. You hold responsibility. Do right. Live right. Okay? This is not, we should not be living in vain. We should be living right. So live right. All right? Take that note. Living is either you living in vain or you living right. It don't matter about what she did or how she did it. If none of the situations outside of the commandments are done, then that woman haven't done anything to you. She ain't put her hands on you. She's still doing okay. So responsibility is with you. You can't just say something to her and then expect that that's not going to come back. Because it says the woman will be of your youth. How you are. How is your inner baby? You have a youth inside of you. She has a youth inside. So she going to be the woman of your youth. How are you doing? Living in vain, even if you with the wrong woman. If you ain't married to that woman, you got to let her go. And go live right with the woman you know you're supposed to be with. Sometimes you got to do that. Or if you're supposed to be with this woman, you need to live right with that woman. Anyway, stay blessed. Stay tuned for more. at Freedom from the Night. Thank you.